So we open with Angelica Ross driving a Mercedes 5 years ago. So now we see that she's looking at the house with the designer guy. So he starts asking her questions about why she wants the house, and she's asking about ventilation. He said, "You gonna do a meth lab?" She said, "I have a PhD from Harvard. We don't do meth, dear." So she takes the house and gets to cooking. And she's got all her labs set up and makes those black pills. So after all that hard work, she takes herself out for a drink downtown. And she sees Macaulay Culkin hitting on the guy that sold her the house. And she says, "Hey" to him. Child, she take Macaulay home. She said, "Oh, you do girls too?" Oh my goodness. So she's like, "I don't know if I want sex, but I'm gonna pay you for your time." And she tell him about the pills and how it unlocks the occipital lobe and gets the neurons to firing. So she tell him, "Now, if you talented and you take this pill, it works. But if you ain't talented, then you turn into a vampire, a zombie vampire." So he say, "No, I don't want to take them pills." And she says, "Well, you know what? Find me some clients. I'll give you 50 a head." Now we back at the restaurant with Macaulay, and he's getting typhoid Mary chatted up. She said, "I only had bronchitis 4 times this year." So she upset that her paintings ain't taking off, and she's like, "You know what? When they close the galleries, at least I ain't got to deal with the fact that all my life's dreams went unfulfilled." And Macaulay says, "Oh, I might have something for you for that painting." However, he sees the guy on stage start singing, and he's like, "You know what? I'm going to get him before I get typhoid." However, now we're at Tip of the Cape Books with Belle Noir, and this is her first self-published book, I guess before the Black Beauties kicked in. And here come pill pusher Angelica. "You're a good writer, Belle." Meanwhile, Belle go outside and her husband there, and he don't like her erotic writings. He also mad that they only sold 6 books on this book tour and they done blown their retirement on it. Child, her husband is a butthead. He gonna say, "I gotta be with you all the time now. It's intolerable. And how you writing about sex, but we ain't having sex?" So after they argument, Belle go to get a drink at the bar, and then Macaulay start hitting on her. So they commiserate over their failed writing attempts, and she said, "You got any coke? You look like you would have some coke. I'd like to try some coke." He said, "I ain't got no coke, but I got some meth." Cut to her getting that methy boo shimmy. However, while they're getting their methy boo on, the singer that he sent to the chemist's house drops by the bar and says, "I need a Bloody Mary. He don't look good." So they head on over to Angelica Ross's to get some of the good stuff since Belle wants to write. He's like, "Okay, look, you ain't going through all my meth. I'm going to take you over here and get my $50. However, we do find out that she's got to agree to stick around Angelica to make sure she can get studied. Because she's like, "Look, you're going to get a little aggressive on this stuff, but it's going to be okay." So Belle pops the pill and she gets home. And of course, Ray ain't there and his phone ain't on. So she's like, "Let me get to writing." And child, the blue bippies is kicking in because she writes a whole book in 15 minutes. So her sorry husband comes in and she's all giddy laughing at the computer. "I just wrote a book." He look at it for 2 seconds and say, "You ain't write this." So she asked him, "Well, where the hell were you?" And he said, "I was out cheating on you. And I'm going to go cheat on you again because this marriage is over." Well, child, she said, "Okay, bet. It's over all right, but death gonna do us part." And she smashed a bottle and kill him with it. And now she gonna drink that blood. So Belle go over to the chemist to let her know, "Yeah, I kind of killed my husband and I could smell his blood and I drank it." And she said, "Oh yeah, that happens. That happens. Your nutrients are depleted, so you're gonna need some help with that. More than vitamins." Belle said, "Well, after I killed him, I just went back to writing. I didn't care. And I'll keep drinking blood if I'm going to keep making these kind of books. I'm all in." So the chemist says, "Well, first we got to get rid of your husband's body. Then we'll get to your books." But back at Angelica Ross's, the singer comes by and he's turning into the zombie vampire. She's like, "You ain't going to get no more pills for another few days. You look a little sallow." So he said, "I really need a pill. I'm Jones." And she's like, And you're cold because you've got on a light jacket and it's October in Cape Cod. That's why you freezing, boo." But then he go by the dentist/tattoo heifer. So he tell her, I need a coat and I don't have a lot of money. And she's like, okay, I got a coat for you. We got some old donanes. So he gets the coat and then heads to the graveyard as one does. Because after you get a coat, you've got to go to the graveyard to show it off to all the dead people that can't see you. I need things to make a little more sense, Rai Rai. So he sees this abuelita and she says, oh, baby, you don't look well. You want to pray together? A praying grandmother. But Lord, while she praying, he stab her and get to drinking that blood. They gonna run out of people. But it's Halloween night and he walking through the town, and since it's Halloween, he doesn't look that out of place. So he go back to Angelica's and said, I kind of ate somebody. She said, well, you know, babe, you kind of hate everybody now because you realize you're not talented and you don't have what it takes to meet the moment. Child, he got a little froggy. She pulled the gun out real quick. Back up. There's going to be a whole bunch of other people like you. You're going to have some company, but you ain't coming back to this easy. So he go back out and attack somebody else. He's like, well, shoot, I'm hungry. If I'm a vampire, I'm going to go on and vamp. So now back at the dentist heifer, who's also a tattoo artist, who also apparently has a clothing store. We got Belle looking for a new look, because ooh, she got a new attitude. And her and the dentist heifer is comparing notes about how they got rid of their exes once they got on the pill. So the dentist heifer said, oh girl, let me get you some new teeth. But later that night, she goes out to the drag bar. And guess who's there? Evan Peters and Eureka from Drag Race. Eureka don't like me, but good for you, heifer. Good for you. She didn't watch my show because I ran into her and she made sure to ignore me as hard as she possibly could. I was like, girl, you're putting some effort into that ignore, but okay. If you want to give me your big back, that's perfectly fine. Didn't want to talk to your racist ass, no way. So they all talk about drag versus not drag versus cultural appropriation. And Eureka is being Eureka. She's just like, look at you. You're all terrible. So are you, hun. So are you, giving us this Lady Bunny knockoff. Okay, watching Evan Peters perform drag is hilarious. I did not know Evan Peters could play the piano. You better go ahead. But as the bar empties out, Belle Noire goes to give Evan Peters a drink. So Evan tells her, you know, I was supposed to do a play here, but the guy that I was putting it on with just disappeared. And Belle was like, ooh, I might have eaten him. And so Belle gives him a blue bippy after he tells her about his troubles. So she says, you know what, hon, let me help you out. You're gonna need some sustenance. And we can take care of those drag queens that was tearing you down. So they pop by Eureka's, and there's a whole bunch of straight boys that I guess are doing drag, and they were hanging out with her for makeup tips, and she's making them watch Drag Race. And she lost every season she went on. So Belle starts shooting everybody, and he starts drinking their blood. Eureka lights out the back. She's like, you ain't getting me. Now Eureka dumb butt go to the graveyard, so she gonna run into some other vampires. Yep, right when she was catching her breath, the zombie singer got her butt. And that was the shit.